it's your boy DL, aka the Church Guitarist. And first of all, I want to thank you for subscribing to our YouTube channel. I want to thank you for becoming a member of our Facebook page at the Church Guitarist Club. This has been an incredible ride, and I'm glad you're taking the journey with us. Before I get started with today's little bit of encouragement, I need you to go up, subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe to this YouTube page. We're growing by leaps and bounds. I'm really excited about our progress, and hopefully you should be too. If you're looking for tidbits on guitar playing, how to fit within a group setting, how to learn chords, you are in the right place. I want to say if you need to get any guitar advice, tips, chord progressions, tabs, you can reach me a few different ways. You can always go to the website, or you can email me at thechurchguitarist@gmail.com. Well, let's get into what you're actually here for today. I've entitled this particular video, 4 Essential Things You Can Do That Would Make You a Better Guitarist Today. Let's go. First thing you can do that will help your guitar playing immensely is stop overthinking it. I think when I talk to students across the country now, most of the people that I come into contact with when it comes to guitar playing always want everything to fit nice and neat within some theoretical puzzle or some pentatonic scale. And the truth of the matter is the guitar is supposed to bring color and flavor to a particular song or musical piece. So sometimes you have to think out of the box. You have to be out of the caged system. And you know what the cage system is. If you don't, look up the cage system on guitar. You have to be out of that pentatonic scale, at least a few notes up, or a few fret up or fret backwards. It's overthinking it that sometimes will kill your creativity. It's overthinking it that will kill that flow. Sometimes some notes don't fit, but they work very well. And so I think I saw a podcast by Victor Wooten, a famed bass player, and he said there's no such thing as a wrong note. I really believe that to be true, but I also believe what makes it wrong is how you respond. And so sometimes playing the wrong note with the right attitude, even on stage in a live setting, can be glorious. That's point number 1. Stop overthinking it. Point number 2, don't underestimate your personal progress. It is hard to see how far you've come when you are very inundated with what you're practicing, with what you're trying to learn. And to you could be your worst critic. You have to sometimes take a day off, take a few hours, walk away from your guitar for a second, and then come back and see what your hand has memorized, see what you can visualize with your eyes, or with the eye of your mind per se. Don't be mad because you haven't gotten it in a day, or don't be mad because you picked up your guitar to learn a lick and you did not get it in an hour. Some things take time. So do not underestimate your own personal progress. You may be further along than what you think. A lot of times in my personal practice, I may be on a lick for a few hours. I'll put the guitar down. Tomorrow or the next day when I pick up my guitar, I'm flowing a little bit better than I was the day before. Everything happens in increments. None of us are just going to pick up an instrument, not even virtuosos, pick up an instrument and play something seamless and without mistake. So that's point number 2. Don't underestimate your own personal progress. Here's point number 3. You can't become what you refuse to listen to. When an abstract artist wants to be inspired, they look to other abstract artists for inspiration. So it's the same with guitar. If you are going to learn blues, you have to listen to blues players. If you're going to learn chicken picking, then you want to listen to like bluegrass or country. If you're going to learn R&B, you can't learn gospel to get R&B licks. It just doesn't happen. So you have to surround yourself with the artists you most likely want to go into that genre. Okay, so I'm not saying you have to strictly be surrounded by that particular style of music, but what happens is the more you're exposed to it in your personal practice time, you'll notice things that you remember listening to that will actually play out in your practice time. So you can't be, or you can't become as a guitarist what you don't listen to. At this particular point, you see him in the background. I'm listening to George Benson and Norman Brown because of my new guitar, my artcore jazzy series. So I'm listening to jazz music because I want to emulate that style, those chord progressions. So you cannot become what you don't listen to. Pick an artist that you really like. If you want to learn to solo, Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, shucks, there are a dozen or 100 or a couple thousand guys or girls out there that can really solo well. Find that artist that piques your inspiration or your interest and listen to everything they put out. You never know where your next piece of information will come from. All right. Here's point number 4. I think this is the best point there is. It's a principle I've learned that I've never forgotten. I've applied it in almost every area of my life. Are you ready? Here it is. Slow is steady and steady is fast. You wouldn't believe the countless number of students that I deal with on a weekly basis who want to pick up their axe and blaze through a riff or a line. That is impossible. It never happens. I was watching Vertex pedals, and so I was watching Mason Marangella. He was interviewing one of my all-time heroes, Paul Jackson Jr. He's played on everything. Michael Jackson, the Winans, if I'm not mistaken, some of Madonna's stuff. Like, he is the ultimate guitar player for me, especially session guitar player. He says in this interview that he noticed some stuff that another beast in his own right, Isaiah Sharkey, was doing. So he calls him up. He said, hey man, I noticed this lick you were doing. He was like, how did you get it so fast? Or how did you get so fast? And Isaiah Sharkey says to Paul Jackson Jr., I started off very slow. Hear me. The biggest lesson you can learn from this particular video, and I hope you're writing down something, is you will not be lightning fast at the first time. There are no shortcuts and there are no cut corners. If you want to be a better guitar player, if you want to be a fast guitar player, shout out to TJ Whitelaw, who's blazing on his guitars, but he'll even tell you he started out slow. Take every lick, one string at a time, one note at a time, at a speed your fingers can handle, and then speed it up incrementally. Slow is steady, and steady is fast. These are the 4 points that will help you to become a better guitar player today. No gimmicks. They're going to help you be a better guitar player today. So let's go ahead, let's reverse it, and let's go back over these 4 points. Point number 1, stop overthinking everything. Sometimes you have to go at what you feel. Point number 2, don't underestimate your own personal progress. Some of you are better than what you give yourself credit for. Point number 3, you can't become what you refuse to listen to. If you want to learn jazz, listen to Jazz Cats. If you want to learn blues, listen to Blues Cats. If you want to learn rock and roll, listen to Rock and Roll Cats. If you want to learn gospel, then listen to Jonathan Dubose. I'm sorry, did I throw that out there? All right, he's one of my idols. Point number 4, slow is steady and steady is fast. I hope this helped you. Again, if you like this video, if it helped you in any way, leave a comment below or please subscribe. All right, we're trying to make this the Church Guitarist Nation worldwide. Thank you for joining in. If you need to send me some information, you have some questions or comments, please, you can email me at thechurchguitarist@gmail.com. If you want some merch, you saw the cup earlier. We have hats. We're soon to be making picks and things of that nature. Reach out to us. Go to our website, www.thechurchguitarist.com. You can find everything there. All right? I'll see you soon.